You can see that. So we're out on Wendover Grand Union Canal, it's called. It's in need of some attention, is probably the best way to describe it. But I believe there's a local Wendover Canal Trust that do their best to look after it. I think more people need to pay attention to the British canals. They do a lot for the aquatic and bird wildlife locally. Obviously the dry spell in the UK and most of Europe is not helping. Hence the browner looking grass and fields. Again, look at that sun, that is amazing. Let's try and get that, look at that. Absolutely amazing. Just try and hold it still. Zoom's always hard to hold still, but look at that. Light finding its way. So somewhere different today. We tried a new walk. It's actually turned out really well. We do take some gambles with our walking. Sometimes it can go wrong, but I think we found a really peaceful place. Really nice path. Quite a bit of nature. So yeah, we're on a little walk. I say a little walk, it's probably about 20 miles by now, but little walk for us, big walk for you maybe. But we do it to try and get some content to share. Again, look at that light coming through, amazing. And in the UK, cloud's been rare recently, so this is a potentially a good sign for things to come. Maybe some rain on the way. So we spent most of the week Cheshire, Derbyshire, Staffordshire, that sort of way. Now we're back in the south. It's just as dry here. Hopefully the audio is working on these live streams. It's always a thing that normally fails. There we go. Wendover Arm of the Grand Union Canal. Working in partnership with the Canal and River Trust. Very glamorous. There's a path down there, but I think we'll stick to this one. I think you've got some dragonflies down there. We can try and get one on camera. There's a couple. A bit tricky to film. Ted, come back here. So we'll see what we can find on here. I don't think we're going to do a big live stream. We just wanted to try and capture some of what's down here. Ted, come on. The dog's gone walking off on his own. Come back. And what we've noticed for this Wendover Arm, it's kind of one of these canals that's sort of been let go a little bit. So you can see there's not a lot of big fish in it. There's not a lot of water in it for a start. But it looks like they've tried to restore it. Obviously it needs a lot of rain to get it back. So we'll try and show you some of it. And these are the sort of places I think the UK needs to pay more attention to. These little nature pockets that it's forgotten about. Maybe someone with big pockets would like to help with it. I'm not sure. And there's some tyres in there. That's sad, isn't it, that people put tyres in the canal. But that's what they've done. Why they would do that, I don't know. And even more bizarrely, that one's got tread. All right, let's keep going. Let's see, comment, hi back to Radio Magic. Great username. So what's this magic all about then? See, we're in a tunnel now, so you should hear all the echoes. Let's have a look what they got on the wall. Usual graffiti with spelling mistakes, I get. Wonderful. Max loves Meg. There you go. Good on you. Nothing better than a graffiti spelling mistake. Oh, dragonfly there, we'll try and capture him. Really hard to get, but we'll keep trying. I was down there. I'll get the camera zoom out, but actually, we just got lucky. See there was an emperor dragon. Oh, he was there. Come on, this is live. You've got to play along with dragonfly. So we'll keep trying. So you can see for this canal, it's just such a shame that it's been let go like this. I think that's maybe something we can do with the walks, is show the places that have been forgotten a little bit. So what we're doing is we're walking along, we're just looking for any signs of fish life, and there seems to be quite a bit of fry, smaller fish, nothing, nothing sizable at all, which means it's probably been really low down here for a long time, so the fish population can't build up. Try and get more water views in a second. But thanks to everyone who's joined us. Do say hello. If anyone's listening and you can hear the audio working okay, I would appreciate that, because that's always the bit YouTube compresses and it can get a bit buzzy and clicky. So this is what I mean, if you look through the water, you're not seeing any sort of fish, and it's really low. We're only talking a couple of feet at most. So if anyone knows the history of this Wendover Arm Grand Union Canal section, please do let us know if that's on live now or later when you see this. We'll try and do some shorts and other videos just to explain what we're finding. Kind of needs a good flooding of water is probably the right bit, but actually just looks like a lot of sludge in there as well. Ted doesn't want to be on the camera today for some reason. Another thing we're getting in the UK right now, blackberries. Try and keep that in focus for you. Some more there. So if you're into blackberries, it's probably a good time to get out if you're in the UK. Fill your boots, make your pies. So that's absolutely loads here. You can see they're still looking a bit small. I think that's because of the lack of rain, but not bad. So here along at the moment, it's getting a bit Jurassic Park. We've got all these long reeds and jungle look. We're expecting some tigers to jump out any moment. It's actually getting quite tropical looking this side. Let's try and keep that steady for you. So we've just been up to some reservoirs. Before this we would have done a live stream from there, but the data signal for the internet wasn't that great, so there's lots of swans up there and plenty of chatty walkers. So It's one of the things we notice is we'll sit there peacefully filming and people just come over and chat and say hello, which is nice. They've no idea we're the Diary of the Dog Walker. That adds to the mystery. So we've spent most of the week up north. Now we're in the south again. We bounce around everywhere at the moment. We've got some other tricks up our sleeve for next week. So next week we should be able to get some good deer content if you're into deer wildlife and pine trees and so on. See this a lot down canals and rivers in the UK. Seen a lot of that in Hampshire, along the chalk streams and so on. This is the one. If it's been dry, normally that's a lot more pink. So yeah, we've been on a big walk. Saying we're a bit tired, we're always tired because we never stop doing this sort of stuff. It's just the way we've come there. So yeah, for a disused canal, the path's exceptional. One of the things we notice from walking a lot on the canals is you can normally you get overgrowth. They're still looking after it. Someone's coming along and cutting all this. See, we notice these things. So we've seen affluent canal areas that are supposed to be well maintained that aren't. They don't have paths like this, it's just mud. So this is pretty good. Even better if you're tired and you want to have a kip. We've got this bench here for you. We'll save it for you if you're coming along. You can get it that way, but there we go. Drinks, some cakes and biscuits, and yeah, happy days there. I think we've eaten most of our goodies and drinks that we brought. Just an old boring water now and biscuits. Well, not biscuits, basic stuff. Hardest bit of doing these walks is keeping signal. It's easy to film town centres and so on. Sky tonight is amazing. Look at that. Try and keep that still. I'm liking that sky. So what is that there? So you can't see it there closely, but if you look, you can see the chicks in the actual hay that's been cut, or the wheat that's been cut. You can still see the chicks. There's one centre, there's one there. And what they do is they keep so still until the mother birds come back. And that's a really, really interesting find. But what's concerning is, well, they cut it, which is a good sign, but a lot of birds do get mowed up, let's say. But these ones there, you can see 3 in a row, 1, 2, 3, all along there. Those little black dots. They're all baby birds hiding. keeping very still. That's a really interesting find, that. Could have just walked straight past that. So one of the things we're learning is just to spot things you just miss. You know, you just walk past normally. Really picking up on all the little things we'd miss. Again, we'll just show you that sky. Can't stop filming that sky. Look at that. That is amazing. That's movie star sky, that is. That's proper Hollywood sky level. Look, you've got the eyes coming through and the light. That is cool. Right, we've got to remember we've got a dog up here. Come on. Try and find some biscuits for him. He's got some biscuits somewhere. So we're just going to pause for a minute to feed the dog. Won't be a moment. Bags of dog mess and all sorts. Hopefully we can find somewhere to get rid of all our rubbish at some point. Walking for a long time now. So what's that down there? I think that's a moor. Is that a moorhen? Or is it running along? There it is. Scooting along there. But welcome to the Diary of a Dog Walker. Giving you a bit of calm. Everyone needs a fix to that chaos you get on YouTube all the time. Nice bit of calm, sort you out. Still do get a bit of drama occasionally. Is it back down there somewhere? You've got just a pigeon up there. So we're on a disused railway canal. Wendover Canal, I guess it's called. Needs a bit of TLC, to be honest. Very low at the moment. Try and show you some wildlife if we find any. If there's any dog walkers or walkers watching, one of the things we notice these days is it's really hard to find dog bins on your walks. There seems to be less dog bins everywhere. It's really hard to even find bins on walks. And you end up carrying a lot of rubbish and waste, which obviously makes walking heavier and so on. So what's your solution to that? Sometimes you know your route, or do you just wing it? Ted! Right, that's the road, I think. Stop. Try and get Ted on the lead now. I think that's the road, or a drive, something like that. I'll show you in a minute when I get him on the lead. Stay still. So there's this thing here. I'm not sure if it's a road or it's just someone's driveway. That's sort of a road, isn't it? Look. Look, this is just what we were talking about, so we got lucky. The one thing we've been looking for hours. Finally get rid of the smelly stuff. Thank goodness, we won't show you anymore. Come on. Right, come on. There we go, keep going. I suppose we'll have to check where we are on the map at some point. What I try and do with this walk is just walk in a general direction, wing it a little bit. Go on then. Ted's having a little paddle. Watch out for the crocodiles, Ted. He's having a little paddle in there, look. It's all right, you keep going. Thank you. Oh, I just got wet now. You soak me. Come on. That was nice of the biker. He slowed down just in case the dog came running out. Dog did come running out and he just chucked all the water straight on me. So we think this goes in the right direction. Come on. I'm going to try and make it part of a new loop walk we've discovered. If we can get this right. So you've got to cross the road here, it seems. Let's try and get across without any drama. Oh, wait. So this is the first road we've had to cross in a while. Let's try and get across. We've got a rough idea of where we are. I think that's Aston Clinton that way. There we go. See a lot of swans on the signs in Buckinghamshire. This is nice. So I think we've got Wendover Woods up there, look. Along that ridge. Across there. Try and get that camera, phone camera, whatever it is. Ted's a bit mucky, so try not to show his mucky paws. So we've got the canal on the right down here now. Try and show you. Now if my Wendover Woods up there, we're not going to go there today because we're running out of time. We would have gone there if we'd have had a few more hours. Do that on another walk. So what we tend to try and do is actually walk to the places we want to see rather than just drive there. Obviously that's harder if you're further afield, but what we tend to do is find a base camp, say if we're in Cheshire and so on, stay there for a couple. Back on now. So data connections are proving a bit tricky here. As you can see, it's the middle of nowhere. So hopefully the nettles sort of fade away a bit this side, you'll be able to see more of the canal. You can see there's no canal barges using this. It doesn't look like there's any boats down here. Nice place though. Well, there's definitely no boats coming down here. If you look up in a minute, I'll show you them. It's just solid reeds. So if I got my map reading skills right, this pathway along this older, semi-disused, locally run canal should get to another reservoir, which would be quite good. Sometimes they have boats, swans, geese, but it's getting later on in the evening, so whatever we find there will be a bonus. So we are feeling it a little bit now. We are quite a way. So I think the other day we did a 16-mile walk around the Cheshire Hills. And bearing in mind it's not flat, so that's just up and down peaks. That was brutal. But we got some really good footage. Just starting to share some of that. And we shared some Staffordshire footage earlier. If you look on our videos, you'll find out that was unbelievable panoramic, wide views of just unbelievable. Just take a look. I'll share a link later on. Some joggers coming, so I have to put Ted on a tighter leash. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. There's something in that bush then. So that's one of the things people probably don't realise is we put in a lot of effort to get to these places, which we enjoy doing, but it's still our own time and money and effort. So we appreciate all your support. Trying to get the sun in at the moment. Probably won't come through that way though. Like when people were filming the eclipse, they end up with those little blemishes on the screen because it wrecks the sensors on the camera phones. quite a few people on earlier. I think what happens with these walking live streams is we get a lot of people on, then the data connection goes, and then people naturally drop off. How to know where you can walk with perfect data connection. Ted, come here. Let's let the dog off for a little bit. Come here. Come here, boy. Good boy. Yeah, come on, that way. Go on. Good boy. Right, no jumping up. Good. Right, let's set that camera down. So we brought way too much recording equipment with us today. Carol. Is it Carol Terry? Wait, is that it? Ted. We'll show him in a minute, but he never stays still when we're walking. He's also a bit mucky. We've got someone else putting a message on there saying Mexicans, not sure why. We do like the funny text chat that you get on these things. Do say hello. We won't bite. There's a bridge coming up. Come on, we'll get you back on the lead. There's a bridge coming up. I think that's the road bit. I'm not sure. Try and get you back on the lead for a minute. Come here. Hey. Good boy. Where's your collar? Just put that in a second. Right. It's hard work walking a dog and doing a live stream. See why people prefer to pre-record and publish and edit. But we're live. Hold on, Ted. It's even a bit more slack on these leads. These sort of real leads are good, but they're you don't have the right slack on them or whatever, they can be a bit annoying. So I think that's the road. Does that road go up? Must be that one. So I'm just muttering to myself because I'm trying to work out where we are. Yeah, that road up there. So that way would lead up to Wendover Woods if you walked up the road. So up that pathway or up there. We're not going that way today. We're at bridge number 7 there. We are so it's starting to look a bit more like a normal canal now. Keep going this way. But we are starting to lose light, so thankfully I brought the torch today. So just to make it clear, no fishing beyond this point. Right, let's go this way. Not sure where the overhead things are. Come on. So the reason it's got a bit darker is you can see the canopy sort of closes above us, which is quite interesting. It's not actually dark, but gives that illusion. Hopefully the light comes back a bit this way. So the way this sort of channel works, if you look at a lot of dog channels, in my opinion, they kind of over-focus on the dog a bit too much. We're more about the walk. So we're just filming what the dog walker and the dog would see. We haven't got camera on Ted yet. Sure we will at some point. See whether people use the dog cams when they're running around. Probably a bit overcomplicated for us. What I like about this particular section of Canal Walk, it's so quiet. Appreciate people like chaos, but it's not what we go walking for. So yeah, the channel's more about what the eye sees, what the dog walker sees, what we experience on the way. I try not to film people because they're not really the subject of the show. But if people do want to be on, maybe in the future. It's more about the nature and what we see on the walk. Ted needs a bath anyway, so I can't film him too much. I mean, he's stinky. He's been in the canal about 10 times. That was bizarre. Up ahead there, a bit optical illusion. I thought that was a man and a dog there. So if you look ahead there in the middle, it looks like a man and like a big dog sat there in the middle. Optical illusion. No, it's not. But watch what happens. I see this sort of thing a lot because we walk a lot. Light and shadow can play tricks. Now we'll look again, see if we still get the illusion. Still looks a bit like a man and a dog. Someone's just jogging past. We're getting some room. Come on. Come on. Oh yeah, you're right. Come on. That's what you need on a Saturday night. Jogging with a crazy Labrador. Been there and done that. Now we've got a crazy cockapoo. We will be adding to the dog team at some point. At the moment, Ted's in charge. So I think one of the regrets I had is I had a dog I had a few dogs over the years. I had a chocolate Labrador for 12 years and we never filmed any of these walks. And we were doing exactly the same as we're doing now. But anyway, we've got the idea now. And if you look at the images on our posts, you'll probably find a picture of him. They don't get crazier than chocolate Labradors. He once at a whole, I think it was a Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner at a friend's house. Didn't go down well. Apart from in his tummy, of course. But they are mischievous. So hopefully we don't end up somewhere like Birmingham. We've been on walks before where we've just walked completely in the wrong direction. I think at the Marsworth Junction, way back there somewhere, you can actually get towards, you take the wrong one, you can end up going towards London. We've done that before on bikes. As in, we've gone the wrong way and then realised a few miles down. But that's one of the interesting things about the canals in the UK. You can pretty much get everywhere by walking the canal paths. And it's even more environmentally friendly than those electric cars that everyone wants. All you need is a bottle of water and some cereal bars and you're on your way. Our general rule we try and apply now is if it's local we'll walk, you know, if it's probably more than 5 miles we'll drive normally. But on this sort of walk we do a little loop so it still ends up being 15 to 20 miles, but the way we do the walks is we work out you've got to bail out, so if you do a loop you can always, there's always a shortcut way or something. So if you get, you know, sore knee or whatever. It's another lesson learned from walking on canals is if you walk down certain canals you obviously have to then walk a lot of the times exactly the way you come back or the way you came. So if you walk for a couple of hours in one direction, easy to forget, you've got to walk all the way back the other way. Common sense really. Just going to show that because we're into sort of filming, so if there's a light bouncing off those leaves there, changes their colour, comes through the trees there, so you've got the sort of green, should be that colour, but the light sort of changes it and then you get that sort of mirror effect. So yeah, no idea where we are now. It's part of the fun. Luckily I have a SAS train cockapoo. Sun coming through over there. Try and show the light without pointing it directly. Yeah, so also fatigue's another lesson from doing lots of walking. Fatigue, as in, you know, you can feel it, fatigue in different ways, but it affects your, obviously your mental side. It can affect your general breathing and so on. So it's important to take rest and not overdo it. Sort of listen to your body. We do this a lot, which trains us up to do it. Try and get the camera working right. Let's see here now, it's all disused this. There's no boats coming through this toilet. I have no idea where the end of this one is. Hopefully the end of it is near a pub that me and Ted are allowed in. I don't know, you shouldn't drink and walk, but I think we'll stick to one and we should be okay. Where's this? So yeah, if you're listening, tell us about your walks. Tell us about what you're interested in, what you get up to. If you're from the UK or not. Tell us what you where you enjoy walking, what your favourite walks are. If you're into dogs, tell us about your dog. Tell about Ted, he's just a bit mucky at the moment. Tell you more about him when he's had a bath tomorrow. Very presentable. Come on. Oh yeah. The sun is setting somewhere over there. And that's one of the things, so we do a fair bit of photography and videography. The sun is a weird thing to film because a lot of people look at the sun when they shouldn't really look directly at it or look at it from the side. Really, you should be using filters, but you can never really record the sun like your eyes see it. So even with a filter, you'll get a sort of orangey effect, like on the telescopes and so on. So yeah, the sun, not great for filming, even in the eclipses. So I'll just give you what I mean, that it doesn't really film. The moon is the thing to film if you're into that sort of thing. Should start appearing in the next couple of days in the night sky, depending on where you are. So what we try and do is we don't claim to be the best at anything, we just share what we learn and what we're trying to learn. And if we all do that, we all get a little bit better gradually. One thing I've learned from walking this route today is it's a lot longer than I thought it was. I'm getting that sort of mirror effect from the trees in the water, which is pretty cool to look at. So the obvious bit that I find strange down here is you've got this whole waterway and no ducks, not a single duck. That's the mystery here so far. Right. Let's have a look. So we'll keep a lookout, but we've gone this whole section here and there isn't a single duck. Hello, thanks for joining us. Try and read your username. Bub, we'll call you Bub. Thanks for watching, Bub. So you're watching some old British canal. What more do you want? As we try and say in some of the other ones, we're trying to show a bit of calm. Far too much stress in the world, far too much negative and far too much chaos. Need to show the real world. So should end up at a reservoir eventually. Check on the other bit kit I've got. So that's what we find doing these live streams. We have to carry multiple mobiles just to actually see what if we're filming, and we can't actually check navigation and all sorts. Let's work out where we are. We're going in the right direction. Good. Keep going. So this is kind of first time we walked this particular section. We roughly know the area. This is just a new walk. You've got that bridge coming up. Very quiet around here. Anyway, as soon as we find a duck, we'll let you know. Come on. Keep going. Just don't fall in. Let's keep an eye on the time. What time is it? 8 o'clock. Oh my word. Let's have a look. So if it's 8 o'clock, that means we've been walking for 6 hours. Is that a duck? No way. Our first duck, and it's a duckling. So that's a bit we noticed down here. Normally you get loads of ducks on these sort of things. Oh, I think it's coming to sail. They look like posh ducks as well. They're little Wendover ducks. Posh ones. Right. Okay, they're interesting. I haven't seen them before. I thought they were ducklings. They're not. They're just a smaller breed of duck. Right. So that looks like a good walking territory here. Look at all this. Again, we see the light on that tree there. Look, the light's coming through and it's just hitting that tree and you're getting that effect. And then on that tree there, happens around just before sunset. It goes right through, look, you can see it hitting there, hitting there, hitting there. It's going right through the trees, look here. So that's the sunlight, look. Sunlight's coming right through, like that. Look, how amazing is that? You can see it on the leaves. God knows how far we've got to walk still. So someone's dug out the pathway here pretty well, or someone, it looks like someone's taken the mud and soil back from the canal and chopped it on here. That all along there. You just need a bit more water in there. So we're noticing all these woodland paths, all new territory for us. One minute we're in Cheshire, the next minute we're in Derbyshire, then we're in Staffordshire, then we're in Buckinghamshire, then Hertfordshire, and Suffolk, and all sorts. You find when you walk the canals everywhere, they all look the same really. The man-made elements. There's definitely some walking paths through there, but I've no idea what that is. I think there is a military base nearby, so we don't want to wander too far that way, we'll get in trouble. Welcome to the Diary of a Dog Walker. Me and Ted on a walk. So we've been walking along this canal now for miles and miles and miles. We're hoping it ends at some point. It's an old disused canal. I think it's called the Wendover Grand Union Canal Arm. It's very shallow. Daylight again. Wonderful. So we've been under the trees for a while, which makes footage a bit of a challenge. Try and get some water. So that's another thing to remember if you're out on your walk. Obviously it's common sense, but we're just sharing what we drink lots of water. As obvious as that is. Oh, that's an interesting sign. Ted nearly pulled my hand off then. Oh, there we go, Ministry of Defence sign. So it won't go that way. So they've got police dogs on patrol. Fair enough. I've got Ted on patrol here, but we're on the public path, so we shouldn't be in trouble. Right. He is quite a tough guy, Ted. So, wow, look at all that. I'll show you what we see on the left-hand side. Nice fields. We've got some birds flying up. Scenery's got pretty good now. I think that's an RAF location there. Can't remember what it's called. Oh, hear a helicopter. If it gets closer, we'll try and capture it. So I'd let Ted off here. Normally when I know the location and I know the sort of roads and risks and so on, you learn where you can let them on and off. But because I don't know this place that well, the more we discover, the more confident you get to sort of go, yeah, have a run around. He also likes to jump in the canal, so that's probably another reason to keep him on the lead. So this is pathways, all these pathways into the RAF site, but I'm not sure why. Maybe they run along here. So it's Saturday night here, so had hopes to be back by now. I think we planned to be back by 7-ish. It's now 8:15. So we are failing miserably on our timescales. So you can't hear it on here, but sort of hear people talking on radios when we're walking along here at the moment, which is a bit odd. That's sun. Sun's behind that tree. Come on. Come on. So far today we've walked all the way to Tring Reservoirs, which from where we started was about 7.5 miles. Then we walked the Wendover Arm Canal all the way from the Tring Reservoir side. I think it was Willstone Reservoir or something like that. Forgive me if I pronounced that wrong. All the way here. So that's the second mega walk of the week. It's got a fancy bridge here coming up. Try and show you the architecture. That's very fancy. Look at that. That's very grand. That's very unlike the rest of their walk. Someone had a bit of money at this end once upon a time. Ah, here we go. There's your answer. Rothschild Bridge. You can see it's a bit special, and that's why. Just show you that again. That is a fancy bridge. So I suppose we'll have to bring this live soon to an end soon. I tried to walk the whole section of this, but I'm not even sure how far it is to go. Just show the bridge we were filming back there, that was quite interesting. So it's very quiet down there. Coming up to some more villagey bits. Try and get our bearings from this one. Come on. No, you've got to be on a tighter lead now because we're coming in the road. Come on. Okay, so the path goes on that side. Keeps going that way. The road. Wendover Arm. That's a nice little sign, that. Some good bridges here. Try and give you some views of the canal still. Work out where this finishes. Oh, it goes back into Wendover that way. Okay. Right, Ted, you've totally pulled me up here. Yeah. Try and get the zoom on there. Yeah, so if we keep following this canal, it will actually take us into the middle of Wendover, which I think is a village or small town, I can't remember. So it swings around. So we've got a choice, we can either follow this to Wendover or cut across a reservoir. Just trying to see what our options are further up. It'd be quicker to take the reservoir route and some public paths back to where we need to get to, or we risk going to Wendover and having to drink a beer. So we'll make that decision soon. So anyway, we'll bring this live stream to an end because I'm hands tired from holding it this long. Not a bad little walk that. Thank you for watching the Diary of a Dog Walker, and we'll see